Hey guys, welcome to this episode of From Donuts to Dinners. My name is Chef Chris, and we're gonna have a really unique meal today. I apologize for the name. It is an official name for what we're about to cook today, but I am represented by it, but I will tell you the name first. We are gonna make a barbecue fatty today, and we're gonna serve that with a bit of a side salad with some asparagus and a lemon vinaigrette. This is called a fatty for a reason. It's basically gonna be bacon wrapped in sausage, wrapped in scrambled eggs, all smoked together into this amazing brunch dish. You're gonna love it, but you do feel like a little bit of a fatty after you eat it. So to begin with, I chopped up a Vidalia onion, basically cut it in half, and just basically cut it into thin slices. We're gonna saute this off, and then we're gonna start our scrambled eggs. You could use butter, you could use olive oil, whatever you like to coat your pan to saute your onions is a good method. You want to pour enough to basically coat the bottom, put it on medium to high, and basically let that go. All right, you just let that cook. We can do that a little bit higher. We're gonna saute those off till they get basically translucent or see-through. Big word for a simple term. As those are cooking, we're gonna just scramble up some eggs before we add them to the pan. For this recipe, we're gonna use 6 eggs. You could use as many as you like, but eggs aren't cheap anymore, so 6 is more than enough. Now, we got this great kitchen cooking, but like I showed you in another episode, I'm gonna bring it back out to my other child outside, our Shirley Smoker, which again, by the tattoo, if you haven't seen the previous episode, is in real life outside, which we will get to in a few moments. We're up to 5. And 6. Just put these off to the side. We're just gonna give these a quick toss because I have to heat up a bit. And for those of you screaming at me out there, yes, I know I'm using a metal spoon and a cast iron and somebody's gonna come and hurt me. It's all right, I know the owner. So then you're just gonna whisk up your eggs. And we're gonna season that with a little bit of kosher salt. Now, I just had this discussion with somebody. There is a difference in kosher salts. There's a difference in Himalayan salts. There's a difference in everything. For general purpose cooking, you're gonna wanna use a kosher salt. The big companies out there, Morton's and Diamond Crystal, everyone has their favorite. My favorite is one I'm not gonna tell you, but it's red and white in color, and you know. For those of you who know how to cook out there, as you're learning, look for the red and white box. That's the better one. Okay, our onions are cooking. They're getting a little bit translucent. We're gonna add a little bit of seasoning to that. By seasoning, anytime you hear a chef or a cook say the word seasoning, it doesn't mean herbs. It just means salt and pepper. It's a fancy way of saying salt and pepper. The problem is we all get tired of saying salt and pepper even in the restaurant world, so you season everything, salt and pepper. Or just salt in some cases, depending on how you like your stuff. So we're just gonna add our eggs to our onion mix. And we're just basically gonna scramble them, and we're gonna bake them to a hard scramble, so semi-hard scramble. I will switch to a wooden spoon, so I don't have any people out there screaming at me about cooking in a cast iron with a metal spoon, scraping up the nice cast iron. Grandma would have hurt me on that one. All right, so we're gonna let that go for a few minutes. While that is getting harder and becoming more firm, we're gonna start working on assembling our fatty. All right, we'll let that go for a little bit. So what you're going to basically do is you're going to get yourself a knife. And yes, I'm being vain. My knife does match the same colors as my chef's jacket. You know, I do have a little bit of vanity in me. So get yourself to a box store. I can't tell you exactly how much bacon this recipe calls for. It is basically till you fill your area. All right, so we're going to take off the scrambled eggs. They're as firm as I'd like them. What I'm going to be showing you is we're not going to be eating these directly, even though they look great. Perfect. Put that to the side. All right, like I said, this is going into our dish, so we're going to put this off to the side, and we're going to get ourselves some. You're going to get yourself some plastic wrap. What the plastic wrap is going to do is we're going to make a barbecue fatty. You could basically call this the barbecue version of sushi. So you want to basically just, you know, whatever size cutting board you got, lay out some plastic wrap, because you're basically going to be using this to roll up everything in a few moments. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to lay out a few strips of bacon. You could lay them out long ways, you could lay them out sideways. However you start, we're going to make a little bit of a lattice, really for no other reason, but it's pretty when you cut into this. It is the way I make my fatty, I make it into more of a brunch dish. As you can see, the scrambled eggs. Inside of a fatty, you could actually put whatever you like. You could put turkey stuffing, you could put pork stuffing, you could put breading. I've seen everything in these things under the sun. So it looks like here, we're gonna start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slices of bacon. And that's just for me. Oh, I'm sorry, for the rest of you guys. In between that, you're gonna take another handful of bacon. Now, you can use any type you like. I actually just picked a little bit of applewood smoked. We are gonna smoke it again, but any type of extra smoke is always good. With this bacon, you're gonna do almost like a pie crust. You're gonna kind of just over, under, and under again. You can take the pieces you have here, and the same thing under all of them. You're just gonna lay a lattice or pie frame looking way. And then the last piece, same thing. If you need to, which we might, we're actually going to do one more row, just because I think we have a lot of eggs, and you know what, that should be good. So we put our bacon off to the side, say goodbye to it for now. We're gonna put it back in the fridge for another use, for another day. Now here comes the fun part. Everyone has this in their supermarket, and they look at this stuff and they go, what in God's name does anybody make with those pork roll sausages? Everyone knows certain types. Everyone has different types. You can get, Italian style, you can get Jimmy Dean's, whatever you like. You want the sausage roll. This is what you're gonna do with the sausage roll, and this is how it becomes even more fatty. You got your applewood smoked bacon, you got your fatty pork, and what you're gonna basically do is another layer of the sushi, of the barbecue sushi. Just gonna cut open the package. This one has a little bit of Italian seasoning already mixed in, which just makes our lives easier. You're gonna unroll it as best as you can, and you're gonna smash it down. You're basically gonna layer it fatty bacon, fatty sausage. You do that, keep going with that, with as many rolls of sausage until your bacon is completely covered. And it's sometimes fun to play with too. If no one's looking, you can make yourself a sculpture, make some sand art, make your name out into like little sausage things. People think you're crazy, but if you're cooking by yourself, who cares? Alrighty. So, a little bit more of the sausage just to cover all the bacon. So it looks like this did about 2 rolls. Like I said, you could always do more, you could always make less. You make it as big or small as you like. It's all up to you. We're a pretty free-form way of cooking here. So you're gonna take your scrambled eggs or your stuffing or whatever you want inside your fatty. You can, make your scrambled eggs with peppers, with onions, just plain eggs. You could add cheese, however you want the insides or however you think your family's gonna like the insides, you put it in. So you're just basically gonna layer that in the middle of your sausage and your bacon. Put off the other side. You could always make 2 out if you have enough leftovers or enough sausage left. You could always make 2 or 3, however many you want. And then you're basically just gonna roll this up like you would sushi. Just try and keep it as tight as possible. Sometimes your bacon goes a little awry, but that's okay. And when you flip it over, it looks all nice like a lattice. I'm not a baker. My lattices aren't as pretty as a baker's. My hats go up to the pastry chefs and the bakers out there. Your grandmother's probably a lot better than me. It looks good. It will look better once it's cooked, but my lattices, I will not be making a pie for you at any time soon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this outside to our smoker that we showed you in another episode, but I'll be honest with you, who gets tired of seeing a Shirley smoker this size? So I'll see you in a few minutes and I'll meet you outside. We're back outside with the Shirley smoker. I'm gonna show you the outside of it in a minute. We're about to put the fatty to bed. Pull out one of our grates. These are hot, has been going about 300 degrees. We're using a mixture of New York hardwoods today. We're using a little bit of oak, a little bit of maple, and a little bit of cherry. So we have our barbecue fatty. It's our scrambled eggs with onions, our Italian sausage patties, and then wrapped in the best stuff on the planet, Applewood's already smoked bacon. And it's gonna get another smoke with New York smoke with the hardwoods from New York. And we'll get that on. And we'll start on our salad when we get back inside while this is gonna be cooking. I'm gonna put this to sleep for a few hours. We'll keep checking on it, and maybe about once an hour you wanna check on it. Also, when you go to put on your wood, for a smoker this size, I add wood every about 30 minutes. Depending on your pellet smoker, some of you guys could set it and forget it. If you have a pellet smoker, I would check on your fatty maybe once every 30 minutes or so. If you have a bigger smoker like this, once an hour or every 30, 45 minutes is good enough to check. And we'll set this and forget it. Then we'll go inside, and the only way to save yourself from a fatty is a little bit of salad to make yourself feel better. So we'll start making our salad to cut some of the fattiness of this brunch as well. See you inside. All right, guys. We know we just put our fatty in the smoker. We're gonna let that smoke for a couple hours at least, maybe 1, maybe 2. We'll see how the cooking goes. But right now, to cut extra heaviness of that fatty, it is amazing. We're gonna make a salad with some asparagus and a lemon vinaigrette. Basically, just cut through the fattiness. That's what makes a perfect brunch. Is you have the fatty aspect. You definitely have to have your booze. Usually something on the lighter side to cut through everything else that you eat. So we're gonna start with, for the salad, we're gonna just quickly blanch off some asparagus. You're gonna do that, a pinch of salt, good pinch, hefty pinch. You want salted water whenever you're cooking a vegetable or a pasta or a potato or anything like that. These asparagus I got out on the eastern and Long Island at the farm out east. Most asparagus, just the part at the bottom is usually the toughest. You can, save some money and trim your asparagus or shave it. But for my purposes, I just like to take off the little bit of the bottoms. We're gonna chop this up anyway when we boil it, just to help it along. And then after a few minutes on the stove, in our boiling water, probably maybe 2-3 minutes, we're just gonna put into a pan, and we're gonna stop the cooking by running it under cold water, or you can use ice water. So we're basically just blanching our asparagus and then stopping the cooking process so that they still remain a little bit firm and they don't get too mushy. So once you get the bottoms off, you always want to leave the tops pretty much alone just because they're the prettiest part. Everything else, the stems, you can just put into bite-sized chunks for the salad purposes. And the same thing. See, that's the thing. I just saw that asparagus fly off. You all saw it on TV, but on TV you don't have the 5-second rule like you do at home. I'll be honest with you. I would have probably picked that up if it was my house because it's going in boiling water, but I wouldn't do that to the rest of you, all right? Don't tell anyone that I said that. Oh, shoot, we're on TV, aren't we? Ah, well, my secret's gone. My family's never eaten my food again. That just means it's more for me. It is a fatty, by the way. All right, so we're getting the asparagus chopped up, making this stuff look pretty, not chopping up the heads. If you do that, there is no real problem if you do, but your food won't be as pretty and your guests won't like you and you'll be eating alone again, eating a fatty. Oh wait, that's not too bad anyway. And sometimes you miss a piece that has the ends, that woody end, that's the part that goes in the dirt. You really don't want to eat that. You could, but it's tough and who wants to deal with that? So we're just gonna get this into our salted boiling water. You don't need a lot of water. It could almost slow the steam. You're just gonna dump all this stuff in. And if you want to, you could cover it, you could not cover it. It's totally up to you, but it's about 2 to 3 minutes in the boiling water before we stop the cooking. All right, we'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. I just took off the asparagus that I was blanching, plunged them into some cold water to stop the cooking process. So they're nice, they're green, they're cold, they're perfect for our salad, which is what we're gonna put together right now. Now I know what you're saying. You see these bag salads sitting on the table right here? I'm gonna be honest with you. I could take the butter lettuce, the red butter lettuce, the radicchio, the baby chard. I can cut them up for you and it'll be all nice. And I could spend $1 million. Let's be real, times are tough. You can make great food with stuff in your supermarket. Sometimes splurge when you can. Those asparagus came from a farm out east on the eastern end of Long Island. I had to take a second mortgage payment, but I got these here for you because they're gonna be great asparagus. They're fresh right from the farm. So is this stuff, right from the farm. The Fresh Express farm. No, I'm serious. The stuff you have in your supermarket, those bagged lettuces, they're great. They save you hours of time. They save you the trouble of stuff wilting in your fridge. I love them. They're inexpensive and they're great. So but you can always still, what we're gonna do is we're gonna dress it up. We're making a salad because we're gonna have this really, really heavy and luscious barbecue fatty. I hear the jokes going on in your head. I'm not gonna fall into them. And yes, I'm waving a knife at you guys. So I'm gonna basically just open these up. And we're gonna actually just pour them right into the same bowl as our asparagus. Like I said, this one, you just pick colors and flavors you think of salads you like. You can have literally anything. You could do a radicchio, you could do a straight arugula, which is rocket, which is a more peppery type of lettuce. Whatever lettuce you like. Like I said, there's so many of these varieties in your supermarket. They're great. They're an easy way to mix things up, make things pretty. And like I said, jazz it up with a little bit of a splurge item. In this case, asparagus grown out on the east end of Long Island. For this, we're gonna do just a quick dressing. Very simple, very flavorful, and very easy to help also cut through the fattiness of the sausage and the bacon and the eggs and the onions. Yeah, it's a lot, but it is worth it. So you can start with the juice of, I really like lemon vinaigrette to be lemony. So this is 4 large lemons juiced, cut in half, squeezed till you get the juice. And you're just gonna pour it in to your bowl. Whatever bowl you wanna use is perfectly fine. Okay, secret ingredient. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. I have no idea how to say the correct pronunciations, and no one on the planet does, except for the people whose family is from Worcestershire. Sure, I said that wrong again. This is the English version of Asian fish sauce. That's basically Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce is. Yes, that's another way to say it down in the South, but it is great. It packs a little bit of umami. How is it? Umami into a little bit of a taste. You're just gonna pour some sprinkles of it in, and then you're just gonna mix this with some oil, some salt, and some pepper, and you're gonna toss that with your salad. And this will be a perfect accompaniment to your barbecue fatty as soon as it's done. And you're basically just gonna whisk that up a little bit, just to incorporate the oil into the lemon juice. Like anything else you do, you always wanna taste it. Don't double dip unless you're alone. That tastes good. Now we're gonna add our oil. And as you're whisking, you just slowly pour it in. I can show you. If you do it slow enough, the pouring, it will incorporate in instead of separating a little bit at a time. But like I said, like a really citrusy vinaigrette. Taste again for salt and everything else. And we're gonna let that sit to the side for a minute while we just toast this until we're ready to bring out the fatty. You're just gonna toss the asparagus with the salad just to get it a little bit mixed up. You're gonna add a little bit of salt to this. You're gonna season your salad, you season everything else. A little salt, pepper. Now we're not gonna put the vinaigrette into this until you're ready to serve. Otherwise, your salad's gonna get soggy, and no one really likes to eat a soggy salad. And let's go check on our fatty. Guys, I wish I could show you some of the stuff that happens behind the scenes. You'd be laughing as hard as I would. Man, these camera guys and girls, they are professionals, but they have me rolling on the floor. It's not pretty. Someone my size rolling on the floor, but it's creates quite a mess. Let's get back to the food. We just pulled off our barbecue fatty. I just smile every time I say that. Not because of the name, because I know what's inside of it, and you're about to see too soon. So we pulled our barbecue fatty off the smoker. You can see the bacon got crisp. The sausage is cooked through. The eggs were already cooked, but they're gonna be great once you bed into them. A little bit of kitchen magic. I did put a little bit of barbecue sauce on it just to give it a little bit of color and a little extra sweetness. You could use whatever barbecue sauce you like. My personal favorite is my own Flying Swine's Sweet Heat barbecue sauce, which you'll be able to get shortly on the Eat This TV network, as well as our cookbook from Donuts to Dinners. So I'm gonna take this off the tray. We're gonna cut up some of it. We're gonna plate our salad, and we're gonna finish this meal off right. Sometimes it's good not to have any feeling in your fingertips, as I mentioned before, because that is hot. Say a little prayer to the barbecue gods that everything comes out great, which I'm sure it did, and it does. So like I said, this is your version of a barbecue sushi roll. It's a barbecue fatty. You can see your eggs, you can see your bacon, you can see your sausage, all perfectly cooked in the smoker. Slice up a few slices so that you have everything ready to serve your guests while you've been drinking your mimosas all day long and your Bloody Marys. I actually like my Bloody Marys better. A little bit of spice to them, but you know. And of course, you always got to keep one off to the side for the cook so you can eat it by yourself and enjoy it when nobody else is looking. So now we're just going to finish off our salad. Just put this stuff off to the side for right now to finish off our salad and clear up the bit. We made our vinaigrette earlier with our lemon juice, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, our olive oil, and our salt and pepper. We salted our salad just to get a little flavoring into it. Our salad that we made with our store-bought bag lettuce looks great. A little bit of radicchio, a little bit of red chard, some butter lettuce. We're basically just going to mix this in. You can use tongs or your hands, however you like. It's for family. Use your hands. If it's people you don't know, use a pair of tongs. Just going to mix that up together into the bowl and then plate as much as you like for your friends, for your family. in the bowl. Make sure you definitely get some of that asparagus, a little bit of the different types of lettuce. And there you have it. So today, I'd like to finish up. We have our East End asparagus with a mixed salad with a basic lemon vinaigrette to cut through the fattiness of our barbecue fatty, which is basically the barbecue version of a sushi roll. It's scrambled eggs and onions wrapped around with sausage, and then topped off with bacon, a little bit of barbecue sauce, and in the smoke for a couple hours with some rub. And there you have it. Another meal from Chef Chris and from Donuts to Dinners. Thank you, and see you on the next one.